flat bottom of our barge hit the earth of France. The boatswain lowered the steel-covered barge front, and there, between the grotesque designs of steel obstacles sticking out of the water, was a thin line of land covered with smoke. Our Europe, the easy red beach. My beautiful France looked sordid and uninviting, and a German machine gun spitting bullets around the barge fully spoiled my return. The men from my barge waded in the water, waist-deep with rifles ready to shoot. With the invasion obstacles and the smoking beach in the background, this was good enough for the photographer. I paused for a moment on the gangplank to take my first real picture of the invasion. The boatswain, who was in an understandable hurry to get the hell out of there, mistook my picture-taking attitude for explicable hesitation and helped me make up my mind with a well-aimed kick in the rear. The water was cold, and the beach still more than 100 yards away. The bullets tore holes in the water around me, and I made for the nearest steel obstacle. A soldier got there at the same time, and for a few minutes we shared its cover. He took the waterproofing off his rifle and began to shoot without much aiming at the smoke-hidden beach. The sound of his rifle gave him enough courage to move forward, and he left the obstacle to me. It was a foot larger now, and I felt safe enough to take pictures of the other guys hiding just like I was. It was still very early and very gray for good pictures, but the gray water and the gray sky made the little men dodging under the surrealistic designs of Hitler's anti-invasion brain trust very effective. I finished my pictures, and the sea was cold in my trousers. Reluctantly, I tried to move away from my steel pole, but the bullets chased me back every time. 50 yards ahead of me, one of our half-burnt amphibious tanks stuck out of the water and offered me my next cover. My raincoat heavy on my arm, I dropped it and made for the tank. Between floating bodies, I reached it, paused for a few more pictures, and gathered my guts for the last jump to the beach. Now the Germans played on all their instruments, and I could not find any hole between the shells and bullets that blocked the last 25 yards to the beach. I just stayed behind my tank, repeating a little sentence from my Spanish Civil War days. Es una cosa muy seria. Es una cosa muy seria. This is a very serious business. The tide was coming in, and now the water reached the farewell letter to my family in my breast pocket. Behind the human cover of the last two guys, I reached the beach. I threw myself flat, and my lips touched the earth of France. I had no desire to kiss it. Jerry still had plenty of ammunition left, and I fervently wished I could be beneath the earth now and above later. The chances to the contrary were becoming increasingly strong. I turned my head sideways and found myself nose to nose with a lieutenant from our last night's poker game. He asked me if I knew what he saw. I told him no, and that I didn't think he could see much beyond my head. I'll tell you what I see, he whispered. I see my ma on the front porch, waving my insurance policy.